Hi, I'm Darnell with Live Young Lifestyle, and I'm here with my makeup artist, Jenny Karl, for another episode of Makeup Chair Chit-Chat.
We definitely chit-chat.
Please forgive my hair. I'm about to film another segment. So this was really just like our chit-chat. We decided, okay, we're gonna film. And I totally forgot my hair wasn't done.
The rollers are not a trend. Warning.
Oh my God. But Jenny, on our previous one that we did like the biggest makeup mistakes over 40. And we came off as condescending. We kind of did. Just a little bit. And this is, I just want to reiterate before we start, if you have a makeup trend or a makeup style that you love and you're pulling it off and you're feeling like you're rocking it and you feel good about that, go for it by all means. So this is just our personal opinion. But what we kind of got started with today was I was talking about makeup trends. And so I wanted to hear like what was going on with all the new spring makeup trends. So
the powders are really out and really heavy caked on foundation. And honestly, you know, it works for a lot of the, you know, the millennials who like that Kardashian look.
Yeah, but very like matte.
And but in person it does look like a mask of makeup. So the in trend is like airbrush foundation, really natural. But if you don't want to invest in like a professional airbrush,
or you can't. Some people can't work that stuff. Like,
I mean, it's a learning process.
It is.
So there's Armani makes a great airbrush foundation, like in a bottle, in like a spray bottle that you can purchase, you know, at the Armani makeup counter, and you can airbrush yourself, get your color, and then once you're done, you just go back and you buy, you know, your color again.
And do you still have to blend that? Are you blending?
No, it's a fine mist, just like an airbrush, and you kind of just spray it on your face in a fine mist in a circular motion, and it gives a really smooth, natural makeup look, and it's very long lasting. And then you just, if you get shiny, you just use like a little blot powder on top.
A little blot powder, but don't powder your whole face.
No, yeah. Powder, really, those speckles of powder show up so much on camera.
I'm so used to powdering my whole face that I'm gonna have to like step away from that.
Yeah, you just powder your T-zone with like a blot powder.
Yeah, and you know what else I've been used to that I'm trying to get away from? I used to foundation my whole entire face, and I've realized as I've gotten older, I don't need to do that. It actually makes me look older.
Yes, less is definitely more when it comes to foundation.
People, you were saying, are not blending it like they should.
No, blending is really important. So when you're doing like powders or concealers or even contouring and highlighting, blending is hugely important. Brushes are hugely important.
Okay, this is
like so the new trend in brushes are these toothbrush brushes, and you actually hold them like a toothbrush, and that's why they're called toothbrush brushes. And they're synthetic, and they are really soft, and they're great like for under the eye to just like blend that concealer, you know, that looks cakey. This brush I use for cream blushes and highlighters for the cheekbone. It's fantastic. You use a stippling motion. It's also great for contouring. You actually like
get rid of a double
like a toothbrush. Yes.
Can you brush away this little?
Yes.
I'm now accumulating. Let's move on then to like cheek color. Like, how's the coloring this season? Are we are doing the big contouring stuff?
Contouring and highlighting is awesome at any time. It's just the amount of highlighting and contouring. You don't need crazy highlighting and contouring, especially over the age of 40. You know, the millennials can pull it off, the Kardashians can pull it off, but most of the population can't pull it off. And I'm not trying to be condescending. I just want to point that out.
I can't do it. I've had other makeup artists do contouring on me, and I look scary.
Yeah, it makes you look very structured, and it's great for photographic. So if you're like modeling, then it's like awesome if you're doing a fashion spread. But for normal everyday wear, a tiny bit on like the under the cheekbone in that hollow, a tiny bit under the chin.
But like the YouTube videos where they're painting on the contour and then they're blending it all in, is that still something that people are?
Not in my world, and I'm 38, so not in my world.
So it's a younger world, and it's more for photographs. It's not for like going to the grocery store.
It is. Correct.
right?
I mean, because it looks like you have a lot of makeup on. It's a mask. It's a mask.
Right. So again, less is more.
Less is more.
Kind of thing.
Less
Okay,
is more.
so let's go then to like the eyes. Like what is the biggest trend right now in eyes? What's hot for spring? And then we'll talk about whether or not I feel I can pull it off, which and I think some people can pull off a lot of stuff that I can't.
Sure.
And they're more comfortable experimenting in that stuff that I'm not. But tell me first of all, what's like the biggest trend?
Well, like you have blonde hair and these bright eyes, and so you don't need to do too much to your eyes to make them stand out because your color is just so gorgeous. Those of us who have brown eyes and brown hair,
also equally gorgeous.
of course, but sometimes you need a pop of color to make your features stand out. So for the eyes, like the trend is really to do a pop of color on the eyes, and
This is like a teal.
yeah, so it's like a teal blue or green or aqua, but a darker shade. Using this as like an eyeliner, that gives you the pop of color. So instead of using a black eyeliner or a brown eyeliner, you do a pop of color. Now, for brown eyes, using plummy colors is also really beautiful. So you can use like a plummy shade, and that's your pop of color.
That's pretty.
That plummy shade, right?
But not like the whole eye. You're talking about like the eyeliner.
Using it as an eyeliner, like completely as an eyeliner. So that's your pop of color for the eyes. And then you would do like a really nude lip or a neutral lip. Your pop of color would just be on the eyes. So it wouldn't be, again, less is more. It wouldn't be overly dramatic. It wouldn't look, high fashion. It would just bring out your eyes.
And I think that's sometimes the mistake some people make when you look at makeup on the runway, or you look at makeup on the red carpet, or even in magazines. The makeup is very dramatic and it's very artistic, but it's meant to be that way for photographs.
Yes.
Or to have drama. I love a bright red defined lip on a red carpet. I think it's beautiful. It's really hard on a daily basis. I think for me, at my age, with the little lines and things like that, and the staying power of stuff, to be able to pull that off. Now, there are a lot of women though that they've had a red lip their entire life. It's their signature lip color, and they're holding on to it, and it looks great on them because they're owning it.
Yes.
I just don't own it that well. I think that might be my problem.
And I think some people are red lip people, and some people aren't.
I don't look good in a completely nude lipstick, which you see a lot. Like you'll see the dark eyes, and then the lipstick is completely nude.
Yeah, like mine, like it's almost like the dead look.
And you look great. Dead.
Yeah, some people,
but I actually look dead, so it doesn't look good on me. So I kind of like trend a little bit more towards a nude neutral.
Yeah,
with a tiny bit.
I use more of a color like this on you. It's got like a pinky nude. It's got it's got some. You would consider this a neutral color, but it's not a nude. Right. Yeah, on me. That nude, no-look lip look.
Yes, you can hardly even see that.
Yeah, you can hardly even see it on my hand, but that's what I used on me. That's also very on trend, but again, it's that dead look, which a lot of people look amazing in that really neutral lip. I mean that no makeup look that Alicia Keys showed up on the set of The Voice with like no makeup and started this huge trend, this no makeup trend. And so people are doing very minimal things, like really nude lips, really nude eyes, just a little bit of mascara, a little bit of bronzer, and running out the door and just owning what they have.
And I noticed that a lot at like the Oscars and stuff. And the Golden Globes is what I was talking about. They didn't have a lot of makeup on.
It's very much either like the no makeup look or doing just a pop, either on the eyes or on the lips. Like peaches are really in. So if you wanted to do like a nude eye and then do like a pop of color on the lip that's like a peach.
This looks like coral.
It's like a coral,
That reminds me, like the last time I wore coral lipstick, it was like early 90s.
Yeah, and the 90s are like back. I just did an editorial, I love the 90s. The 90s are back.
I so need lessons from you on how to be cool.
I feel like for me and for a lot of women, when you go to these brighter colors that are shot with 25-year-old models or 18, 15-year-old models sometimes in these magazines, it's hard to then translate that color into a more mature, mature palette.
And that's why I always say less is more
Yeah.
for someone who's like over 40, even over 35.
Right.
Like,
You know, adding a little tiny pop of color, I think that that's a great idea. But we kind of got to tone it down just a tiny bit and go back to that, you know, how we looked when we were like 12. I mean, most of us weren't walking around in full makeup when we were like 13. Well, I might have been, but I wasn't exactly the norm. You probably were as well. But if we like think back when we were like in our early teens, that fresh face look, and trying to get back to that, like what's naturally beautiful? How can you accentuate what you already have without making yourself look like somebody else? I think that's a really good way to live young.
And I agree.